Hello everybody, it's Eric Freeze, and we're going to be doing a comparison against one of the Canadian Honeywell turbofans and then a recent re-release with the PSC motor. I apologize because I don't have the right lighting right now in the camera angle. You can't really see the kilowatt meters, but I will attempt to read it off to you, which is kind of a shame because I really went out of my way to get a power strip that actually worked good so I can show the kilowatt meters like this on video, but it doesn't appear to be working. First, we'll just kind of go over what some of the features are on the box. We'll start off with the Canadian version. This particular Canadian model is from 2010, and on the box it pretty much is claiming the Honeywell Turbo Force power, which the new one does as well. I believe Honeywell was the one, it was either Honeywell or Duracraft, were the original brands to use the word turbofan for these all-plastic fans that are supposed to be low volume and move a high amount of air. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking I was thinking it's one of those two names, and even there's not really much of a difference between Honeywell and Duracraft, being that they were both sister companies that were owned by CAS. So, let's get on with this product. More of the features on the box is this one says 25% quieter. I would say I think these versions of the PSC motors are quieter than the original shaded pull versions. Shaded pull ones, their motors are kind of rattly, they're kind of clanky, and they use a bit more energy. Save up to 20% on energy though, bills. I don't know how true that is. The PSC versions, which like this, the ones sold in Canada, and there was a few of these that were sold here in the US as well. They were kind of interesting. I made a video, I think, of this one a while back. I'm not even sure if I did. I may have made an unboxing video. I'm not sure of this one. But yeah, this one says 3 speeds, 25% quieter, just like this one. I'm wondering if both of these, is this one claiming to be quieter than this version, or the version like this with the shaded pull version? Or both of these claiming to be quieter than the HT800, which was the predecessor to the shaded pull version of this, which has a square base. Eventually, I'll get a hold of an HT800 and I'll do a full rebuild and then do a video comparing those. And I'm also curious how one of these PSC versions perform to the HT800, and I for some reason forgot what it was called, even though I was just mentioning it. Windmere 1998 has a video of comparing an HT900 to a HT800. If I remember, I'll get the link to that video and put it in the describo. And in this fan right here, it also says easy to clean, which I call a cap on that. These fans are, I will say, the newer models, they did do a better job with the disassembly of them, doing away with the security screws, but it still has that blade nut that's kind of hard to take off. And they don't really give you enough wire to work with getting the fan motor cleaned and rebuilt. So I will kind of disagree with that. But there's other ones. No assembly required. Yes, the fan's already comes out of the box, and it pivots to 90 degrees, which both of these do. This one, it just kind of shows how you can use the fan year round. It shows that the fan's wall mountable. I don't know. Can't tell what language that is. I don't know if it is Quinta di Clemente. Copyright 2009, but motor says the motor has a date stamp of this, and it's from 2010. So it's Spanish on the other side. So it's this one. I guess this one, I don't know. We'll get these out of the box and show them off a little bit. This one is the one in turquoise. This has a insane long model number, which I'll say what that is. This is the Honeywell HPF820, and I think there's more information saying what the model number is on it, like the specific one for each color, but that's what the owner's manual says. And this is just the HT900. Now, I'm kind of skeptical right now, thinking this is a Canadian model, but the person I bought it off of said they lived in Canada and bought this fan brand new at a CVS to use in their cabin while they were staying up there for the summer. So I'm not sure how true that is, because the box has what appears to be Spanish on it, because it matches up with this one. It's not French. I don't know. So a bit interesting with that. And also, it has a fuse plug, because some of the Canadian versions don't have fuse plugs. So maybe it was the earlier ones that didn't, maybe some of them do, some of them don't, depending on retailer. Or maybe I was lied to and it's an American model with the PSE motor. Maybe that other one I had, and the one that Jordan has that's like this, with the fuse plugs, are also Canadian. I'm not sure. I think I still have my other one that's all beat to death that's Canadian. Anyway, right now for voltage we're running at 122.9 volts, and we're going to be checking it with watts and stuff. So first we'll do a speed comparison. We'll start up on low speed. Modern counterpart seems to be a bit louder, but I'm not sure how true that is. Could be could be something else with the video that makes it sound louder. I have the door open so you have outside noise. Let's check what our wattage is. So for the HT900, we are getting 29.1 watts, and now we're getting just 29. The other one we're getting 22 watts, and we'll check amps later, go up to medium. We're getting 23 watts for the turquoise one, and then the HT900 has 30 watts. And now we're getting 26 watts for the turquoise one, and 32 for the HT900. See how many amps these draw. These are pretty low. This one's getting 20.27. The turquoise fan is getting 0.21 amps, 0.27 for this. So just a 0.06 amp difference. So yeah, these are both very efficient. The motors in them look different too, which I'm going to try to show. We'll do a spin down, even though this one has a bit more hours on it, I'm sure. And the winners, looks like it's going to be the blue one. No, they seem to be a close tie. As we hear a train, we'll fire both of these up. Well, there's probably a train horn. We'll do an airflow test on both of these on high, medium, and low. The air coming off of these is a bit choppy. Another claim with this one is that air can be felt from 30 feet away, so I'm going to probably try that too. Have them in a somewhat remote location and see if we can get some air moving from a great distance away from the fan. Here's medium, as the airflow tester Dingus is a bit longer. Still putting off a good breeze. Low speed on both of these is pretty quiet. Even on high speed, you can still have a conversation in the room. When I had these running on high speed, I didn't have to speak over them like other fans. Low speed on these are both very impressive. So, I guess now we will start a performance test, seeing how far the air movement is. Currently, the turquoise one is slightly more efficient than the black one. Actually, put them up to high speed and see where the power factor is. This one has a power factor of 0.99, I'll just round it up to 1, and this one has a power factor of 0.96. I guess the longer I'm on the video, the less I'm rambling. Let's set these up at a different angle. See how the wind is outside, so I might do this test outside where there is no obstacles. So from a far distance, the fan still moves a good bit of air. It's kind of hard to see with this, but you do feel a breeze. You can see by these towels here on the ground, the same thing. There is still air moving. I would say on a really hot day, this would be enough to keep the bugs off of you. I don't think that's 30 feet away. It's more like 20 or something, but still. It's kind of a larger area. Might be something I have to try in a much bigger area, but the fan itself, the air movement on it is still pretty good. Now hearing the black one on high speed, I will say it is a bit of the noisier. Once again, we're getting airflow down there. I would say this one moves more airflow at a farther angle. Actually, I don't have it angled up because I think I tested these where the grill was angled up one notch. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm still feeling the same sensation. This seems to be slightly better than the other fan. Still very impressive for the size of these. These are very comparable to 12-inch oscillating fans in terms of their power, at least modern 12-inch oscillating fans. A vintage one isn't going to be nearly as good as this. Something else I will mention is Honeywell has redesigned the blade set on this version. The older ones are much more rounded, and yes, I guess this one has some hours on it because it is dirty. But the tips of it are rounded. This one are at a bit more of a scoop. They have a point on it. The point like this seems to work a lot better than these in terms of sound. If you look at the old Galaxy oscillating fans from the 80s, they switched to a pointed tip blade like this and they performed much better. So that's one difference. The motor on this one looks a bit more substantial compared to this motor. And the American version I have of this, the American counterpart I have, has this motor in it. And that one's from 2013. So maybe the earlier ones. And I actually do recall Honeywell using the same exact free-speed motor in their twin window fans. If I remember, I'll insert a picture of one of those fans here. But it was a model they had throughout the 90s. And I took one apart once to clean it and service it one time. And it has that style motor in it. This one appears to have plastic end caps on it, or at least a plastic cap, so the motor has metal inside of it. The capacitor is mounted right there at the bottom. Same with this one. Here's a better look at the motor, and a better look at the motor on this one. You can see it has plastic end caps there. Very strange design on both of these. There's a free speed switch that both of these have. Switch hasn't changed much. The overall design of the outside, the main things that changed is they did put a slightly different motor. I can't think of many products that have this style motor in them from Honeywell. Probably some of their humidifiers do. Maybe they have some other fans that use these PSE motors, but I'm happy Honeywell was upgraded to the PSE motors. These were originally around $18, I believe, originally, and these are about $24. I feel like these are worth the extra $5, $6, $7 that these were worth just for the upgraded motor. At least the ones that had the shaded pole. The PSEs are a lot more powerful. They're more efficient and they're quieter, and they last a lot longer. So props to Honeywell for using the PSE motors in these HT series fans again. Keep making them like this. Also, no security screws on this one. All of them are normal flex head screws. It's easy to take apart if you decide to service. I think this one also has normal screws on it. The earlier HT900s had security screws, and the HT800s had security screws. And they were long shaft ones, so you couldn't just get a normal specialty screw kit and get the screws apart. Definitely was not something. And also these designer colors or more spiffy colors, they still offer these, I think, with this PSE motor. I hope they still do offer to use the PSE motor in both black and white, as well as this, which is the turquoise. They have a light blue and a rose gold color. So definitely some good work there from Honeywell. So if you've made it this far in a video, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment about your opinion of these two fans. If you have any comments, questions, let me know. These have been discontinued. You can buy these right now at Walmart if they haven't already gone out of stock. And I would say if you come across any of these Honeywell fans, the PSE motors are in good condition, get them. They're good fans to have around. They're quiet. They don't use much energy. They're not recommended for use in Windows, but these would be good for having these set in Windows or whatever, and you can use them. And good to just have in a corner of a room, take on vacation, something like that, if you don't want to have a big fan with you. And even on low speed, these aren't going to be insanely powerful. They do pack a punch on high speed. They're not the best thing ever, but compared to modern oscillating fans of today, that are bigger than this, even a modern 16-inch, I think these would outperform those. I might actually get like a small motor Lasco 37 free and do comparison against these at some point in time. Thank you very much for watching, and keep the breeze.